Hey guys, I just want to briefly clear up a little bit of confusion. Some of you have heard it said that the one who is joined to the Lord becomes one spirit with him more and more and more, as if over time your spirit and the spirit of the Lord become a little bit more one in union. Is that true, or is it a done work? Are we one spirit, or are we becoming one spirit with the Lord? Let me repeat this. Listen. Are we already one spirit with the Lord, or are we becoming more and more one spirit with the Lord? 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 17. So this is ESV translation. I'm not sure which one you use. I don't really, my concern isn't the translation. My concern is what does the language it was written in say. So this was actually written, 1 Corinthians 6:17 was written in Greek. And in the Greek, it would say that he who is joined is kalao in Greek. It means to glue, unite, or bond. Okay? Gluing together, uniting, or bonding, right? Bonding is one. So he who is joined to the Lord becomes one spirit with him. Now, spirit is pneuma in Greek. It's not your soul. It's not your mind. Soul in Greek is suke. Mind in Greek is nous. But what is this? Becomes one spirit. Spirit is pneuma, but becomes. I think if you read the English word becomes, it sounds like something that might be a process. But the word for becomes is the Greek word eimi, E-I-M-I, eimi. It means am. Like when Yeshua says, ego eimi, he says, I am. Eimi is the am. It means you be. So he who is joined to the Lord is one spirit with him. So then what is the process we are going through? Romans chapter 12. The process is not being conformed, verse 2 of Romans 12, not being conformed to this world. Conformed is suske matizo. It means to conform to, identify with, having outward shape. So you're not identifying with the world. You're not taking the shape of the world, but you are transformed, metamorpho, transformed. It means to change the form. By how? By the renewal of your mind. So yeah, we took on this form of the world. And now we want to dissolve ourselves of this form of the world that we've taken on. And how do we do this? We do this by the renewing of the mind. Renewing of your mind. Your mind. Renewal is anakahi gnosis. Anakahi gnosis. It means make fresh and new. So that's the process, you guys. The process is not becoming more and more one spirit with the Lord. You are one spirit with the Lord. Now, if you've heard somebody preach that you become more and more one spirit with the Lord, is there a danger behind that kind of preaching, or is it innocent? You know, it depends how it was said innocently, but here's the danger of it, you guys. Why would it be dangerous? Because it separates you from the Lord. Do you know What is sin, by the way? What is sin? Sin, hamartia in Greek, it means missing the bullseye, right? Just to miss the bullseye. What happens if you shoot an arrow at the bullseye and the arrow did not hit the bullseye? It did what? It missed the bullseye. Meaning there is a separation between the arrow and the bullseye. You were aiming for the right target, but you didn't hit the target. You missed. If you are not joined already to the Lord in spirit, your foundation, your identity, your very identity is spirit. This is who you are. You are one spirit with the Lord, right? Is God spirit? Yes. God is spirit. Spirit is so powerful. It's not the renewing of your spirit. Your spirit doesn't need renewing. It is your mind that needs the renewing. I would rather hear someone preach that we are becoming more and more one-minded with the Lord, meaning that you are changing the direction of your thinking patterns. Right? That's why in the New Testament you can read the English word repent all over the place when it actually is metanoia in Greek. Meta, a change, a changing. Noia comes from the Greek word nous, which is your mind. So metanoia is changing your thinking, changing the direction of your thinking patterns. It's almost like if you've ever walked or hiked on a mountain before, and I used to hike this mountain that was behind our home when I was a young boy. I grew up in this town in San Diego that was east of where I live now, and I grew up on a mountain, at the bottom of a mountain, and so I would hike that mountain all the time. And I would see trails on that mountain, and those trails were not from people. Those trails were from animals. And how a trail is made, whether it's by people or animals, is by going over and over in the same direction over and over again, where everything gets smushed down, and then it becomes a trail. A pattern starts to be formed, a little roadway, a trail is formed, and then you travel in that direction. The same with your mind. Your mind, if it keeps on thinking the same way, it'll form patterns, and it'll get used to traveling in that direction, where the advice is change your thinking. If your thinking toward God or toward yourself isn't in alignment with the truth, start changing that direction. What is the truth? The truth is you are already joined to the Lord. You are one with the Lord in spirit. That is powerful. Now it's getting our minds to catch up, right? Now here's what's interesting. Paul says you have the mind of Christ. You have it. You're not trying to gain the mind of Christ, just like you're not trying to gain your spirit. You already have it. Your spirit has a mind. It's called the mind of Christ, right? But your soul has a way of thinking. As a man thinketh in his soul, his nephesh in Hebrew, so is that man. That is the way he will be. Meaning the direction that a person thinks in their soul, that is the direction they will take in life, when actually you have the mind of Christ. So it's getting your soul to line up with the mind of Christ. Instead of thinking in the old way, think in the way that you truly are, that you I me. E-I-M-E, that you am. You are one spirit with the Lord. You are joined to the Lord as one. You're not two spirits hanging out together. You are one spirit with the Lord, who is Christ. Lord, Kyrios in Greek, means master. Meaning you in spirit are master. Your spirit doesn't need to be trained. Your spirit is master. What needs to be trained is our thinking. See, so going back to the whole arrow with the bullseye, hemorrhagia, missing the bullseye, missing the target, not quite hitting it. Even if you come very, 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 very close, you still missed the bullseye. Your efforts were great. Oh, look at that. You almost got it, but you didn't. And that is what sin is, you guys. So what is sin? If the arrow has not hit the bullseye, that means the arrow is separate from the target, from the bullseye. So sin is separation from God. Is this separation in your spirit? Or is this separation something in your mind? The greatest way to change your mind or repent, metanoia, is to put your mind back into the place of zero separation with God. You are one spirit with Him. You have His mind. It's already done. Yeshua finished that work. You are not finishing it for Him. It is done. Our labor, our job, our efforts is to rest our minds into the truth about being one with God. One. No separation, you guys. Separation is what we call sin. That has been forgiven you because we all get emotional. We all start to drift away. We all think, oh man, I blew it. I'm not one with God, or I'm an atheist. There is no God, whatever it is. This, English, we call it sin. What is sin? It's a consciousness of separation from God. Therefore, your actions will do the things that are separate from God. And who is God? Yeshua said, God is love. Are you separate from love, or are you one with love? Well, if God is love and God is spirit, then that spirit in you, that is you, is love. You are love. But when you act like you're not love and you do the things that are not of love, why is that? Because there's a mental separation going on from you and God, God who is love. And when you're mentally separated from love, you'll do unloving things to yourself and to others. You're not hitting the bullseye. You're not hitting the target. You're missing it, right? But God is so patient. This is the Spirit. The Spirit is patience, you guys. Patience is a fruit of the Spirit. A tree is known by its fruit. So patience is of the Spirit. So you got to be patient with yourself, with your mind, with your actions even. Why am I having these actions? Why do I do these things? It's because of mental separation. So I know that this video, it seems like so simple, but listen, and to just kind of slip up and say, we are becoming more and more one spirit with the Lord. I mean, it sounds just like a little simple mistake, but I want to help you to tune in to not making that mistake or saying that or thinking that way, you guys. We are not becoming more and more one spirit with the Lord. You are. If you are becoming more and more one spirit, it means you're getting closer and closer to the bullseye, but you're not quite there yet. The tip of the arrow is just so close to the target, but it's not quite there. No, you guys, it's our minds that aren't hitting the target. It's your old way of thinking that's not hitting the bullseye. It's not your spirit, you guys. Yeshua did a complete work in you with your spirit. Your spirit is one with God Himself. Don't forget that. I hope this has blessed you. I love you guys. Have a great day, and we'll talk again soon.